My name is Sebastian Moser, and I work for a company called Adaptive Financial Consulting. I will talk to you today about a library called React-RxJS that we use to scale complex UI services in the projects we build. But before I get into that, let me give you a brief demo. I will show you an application called Reactive Trader, which is a showcase application to kind of demo the type of work we do for our clients. It is, of course, built on OpenFin Workspace and takes advantage of all the good stuff OpenFin have built over the years, including OpenFin Home, Browser, Notification Center, and so on. But let me get started. We'll start by pulling up OpenFin Home and launching our trading workspace. There is a really interesting NLP integration we built for OpenFin Home, but that's for another demo. And what you see here is a fairly simple trading workflow. It does all the things you would expect. It's running in browser, so it does layouts. It supports interop. And fundamentally, what you see here is an application that shows a lot of data from a whole bunch of different data sources, updating, ticking, drawing charts, and regularly changing and refreshing. And managing all of that data and ensuring that the application stays smooth and responsive while ensuring that we don't have memory leaks is a tricky problem and can get quite hard as projects increase in scope and in complexity. But why should you listen to me, and why should I have a solution? Well, we've seen it all before. Adaptive has been around for 11 years. We've done 60-odd projects that included a web component. We have 70 UI developers across 5 offices. And we specialize in the financial industry, but specifically in trading platforms. RxJS is kind of the cornerstone in this, and it is a library for managing and processing stream of events over time asynchronously. It's built around the concept of an observable, which means that multiple subscribers can listen to and react to the same stream of data and to the same values. It's highly composable. It includes a large library of operators that enable you to manipulate and combine streams of data into different streams of data. And custom operators provide you with infinite flexibility. It's incredibly powerful. It's quite obviously useful for WebSockets, but it can be used for any state in a complex application. This is RxJS in a nutshell. We, in this example, subscribe to a hypothetical price update stream, and we pipe all the values that it emits through a couple of operators. First, we filter by the symbol, so we're only interested in dollar sterling. Then we extract the price. And finally, we make sure that we only update when there is actually a change and skip duplicate values. We then subscribe to our new observable, and every time a value comes in, we log it out. And very importantly, when we're done, we unsubscribe. If we don't do that, we get in a whole world of trouble. If we use that in React, it's a bit clunky, but we can make it work. We define a state of some type, and when we subscribe and get a value, we set that value into our state. Very importantly, we unsubscribe in the cleanup of our effect hook. And then we log out the value. React-RxJS tries to make this a lot simpler. It provides you with the ability to bind your observable to React. And it does that by providing us with a hook that gives us the most recent value of an observable and the observable in case we need it for some other later to do some more manipulation. We keep the observable itself the same, but we provide it with a default value, and we'll get back to that in just a moment. Now we use a function called subscribe, which deals with subscribing and unsubscribing to observables in its child components. And our price component is now much simpler. It doesn't worry about observables. It just uses a hook. If we want to use it with React Suspense, we have now removed the default value in our bind function and have introduced a suspense boundary. And now our price component is even simpler. Next, I want to show you observable factories. We might not always want to hard-code a specific symbol, so the observable factory allows us a bit more flexibility. We have now a function which takes a symbol as a parameter, and we filter our price updates by that symbol. We receive a slightly more generic usePrice hook and the observable factory. And in our parent component, we now specify the symbol we're interested in as a React prop and pass that prop into our usePrice hook. The final thing I want to show you is signals. Signals are a way for React components to create observables. We call a function called createSignal, and it returns us an observable and a function that allows a React component to emit the value on that observable. We'll, of course, bind that observable to React using the bind function. And our observable has changed a little bit now. We're using an RxJS function called combine_latest to combine the two observables. And combine_latest will emit whenever one of the two changes. We now filter by the symbol that comes from our selected symbol observable. And that's really it on that side. In our parent component, we now have a hypothetical text field. And whenever the text field changes, we change the symbol, which emits on the selected symbol observable. And in our price component, we now get the symbol not from a prop, not from a hard-coded string. We just get it from that useSelectedSymbol hook. And that's really it. React-RxJS is a very simple, lightweight glue between React on the one hand and RxJS on the other hand. As you could see, it simplifies your code quite substantially and makes it a lot easier to test. And if you want, it can remove the need for stores from your application completely. It's modern JavaScript, so it supports everything that you would expect. It supports React Suspense and error boundaries. It is, of course, TypeScript native. And it's incredibly safe. RxJS already is a big improvement in how it allows you to manage unsubscriptions to make sure that you don't have issues with memory leaks. But React-RxJS takes that problem away even further by removing the need to unsubscribe nearly always completely. This is something we built because we needed it for our own projects. But we've open sourced it, and it is an open source project that you can find on react-rxjs.org, where you can just Google it. If this sounds interesting to you, you can find me and my colleagues downstairs, and we'd be delighted to talk to you. Thanks.